Okay, dear students of the second level at Al-Azhar University Law and English program. In this lesson, we will continue illustrating and explaining the statehood pillars. In other words, what are the pillars of the state according to customary international law? Based on customary international law, there must be three elements or pillars to claim the state of statehood, or the case of statehood. Number one, the population, and we've mentioned that there is no certain number of population that is required according to customary international law. However, this population number mustn't be of a trivial nature. Number two, the territory of the state. We know what is the definition of the territory, how the boundary lines separate between territories of the state, what is the boundary, the definition of it, and the difference between boundaries and the frontiers according to jurisprudence and international law treaties. Also, we know what is the effect of the change happens on the river and its impacts on the line of boundaries and everything relating to boundary disputes. In this lecture, we'll move to the third element of the state, which is the political authority. Actually, the political authority is a basic and important element to declare that there is a state according to customary international law. But what is important here is to say that the political authority mustn't, or it is not a condition to be of a national character. I mean, it can be imagined that the political authority which govern in the state is a foreign one. It's not a national one. So how could it be? Like, what does that mean? I mean, what does it mean when we say that it's not a condition that this authority shall be a national one? Okay, it's made that a state is put under one of the following systems that are recognized and acknowledged according to international law, especially the UN Charter or the United Nations Charter. According to the United Nations Charter, there are many or several systems according to which the state can have territory and population, but the authority or the political authority is not a national one, it's a foreign one. It may be the UN itself or one of the countries or states that are members in the United Nations Security Council or General Assembly. Anyway, these systems are of three main types. Number one, the guardianship system or the protection system. This is what we call the نظام الحماية باللغة العربية الموجودة عندنا. Number two, the international mandate أو نظام الانتداب الدولي, and we all know what is the international mandate since Palestine was put under the British mandate, as we may know. Number three, the trusteeship system أو نظام الوصاية الدولية اللي هو بيتم في وضع a state under the trusteeship of another state, so that it helps this state reaching the moment that this state can rule itself by itself. انه بدي امكنها انه توصل لمرحلة من السلف governing، انه تكون قادرة على يعني ان تحكم نفسها بنفسها. So in these three main systems, the government within the state or the political authority within the state is not of a national character, but it is a foreign one, and it is admitted under the rules and provisions of international law. A foreign authority, let's give some examples. Like in Palestine, Palestine was put under the British mandate, and the British government was ruling in Palestine that period. And in this example, Palestine has two main pillars: the territory of the Palestinian state, the Palestinian themselves, or the population. However, the political authority wasn't a Palestinian one, but it was the British mandate itself. Tunisia, for example, was put under the French protection till the independence of Tunisia. Cameroon, Tanganyika, Somaliland. By the way, Somaliland is a country, another country which is different from Somalia itself, and the Samoa. These countries were put under the trusteeship system. So these are examples where the political authority is not of a national character. They are foreign. Okay. Now we move to the characteristics of the political authority. The political authority in every state must have these characteristics. Number one is that the political authority is a sovereign authority. Being a sovereign one, it means that this political authority has the power to call for people to obey the law applied in the state voluntarily. So everyone in the state territory, everyone who is foreign or even a national person, shall obey the law voluntarily on his initiative. So if he doesn't obey the law voluntarily, then this authority has the power to enforce this person to obey the law by means of the sanction. So if he doesn't voluntarily obey the law, he will be sanctioned and he will be enforced and obliged to obey the law. This kind of enforcement is the meaning of the sovereign authority. The sovereign authority means that the authority also, or the political authority, controls the whole territory of the state. So it has sovereignty on the land of the state, the territorial water, which extends 12 nautical miles from the baselines from which the bridge of the territorial water, the territorial sea is measured. And it means that the state has relations and it can control its relations with the other states and other subjects of international law. So سواء كانت states or even international organizations or multinational companies or whatsoever. So in this case, we can say that the authority has two types of sovereignty. Number one, the internal sovereignty, which means that it can control its own territory. Number two, the foreign or the external sovereignty, which means that the state can create links and relations with the other states and subjects of international law. The question here is the satisfaction of the population a condition that is required for the existence of the political authority. السؤال بيحكي إنه هل رضا الشعوب يعتبر شرط من أجل وجود political authority? If we are talking about the democratic states, then okay, the answer would be yes. Then the satisfaction of the population would be a condition required in order to say that there is a political authority, because the people themselves will be the reason of the existence of such political authority, because they will choose this people who runs the state through the elections boxes. So in this case we can say that the answer is yes. However, if the state is a non-democratic one, then in this case the satisfaction of the population is not required for the existence of the political authority. لو احنا في دولة غير ديمقراطية، طبيعي جدا انه سواء كان راضي الشخص الحاكم او المحكوم مش هيكون اساس يعني مطلوب جدا رضاهم لوجود الحكومات او الشعوب او السلطة السياسية، لان السلطة ستوجد عندئذ يعني رغما عنهم. So their satisfaction is not important condition that is required for the existence or the existence of the political authority. However, it is required for the continuity, or it guarantees that this government will be a continuous one, or this political authority would be a continuous one. So the continuity of the government or the political authority is linked with